Ready for one last chance? Welcome to Talladega Superspeedway. The LCQ chase is here at Talladega Superspeedway. Last chance for these drivers to get into the chase. Let's get on down to your starting lineup. On the pole, Nick Breeding there. Second is Bobo Jones. Third, Nicholas Guerra. Fourth, Skylar Dixon. Fifth, Logan Williams. Sixth, TJ Hanley. Seventh is Kevin Shearer. Eighth, Steve Pollard. Ninth is Ryan Acosta in top 10. Daniel Olson. Here's the rest of your starting lineup from 11th and 12th on back. And as we showcase the starting lineup, once we finish up, we're going to show you all the drivers, or at least tell you all the drivers, excuse me, who has made the chase in the Outback Xfinity Series, which on the final row, Jackie Tang and Eric Monaco. So now that we got that out of the way, 38 laps of action. Here it is, what looks. And the drivers who made it into the chase in the Outback Xfinity Series include the following: Nico Ketchum, Andrew Miller, Sebastian Kugelon, Lane Sanders, Steve Pollard, Skylar Dixon, Logan Williams, Mitchell Collins, Roberto Crown Jr., Eli Bright, and then the two wildcard holders, Peter Onjak and Ryan Acosta. Now, those are the 12 that did make it in. Drivers like Daniel Olson, Christian Vargas, Jeff James, Kevin Shearer, they got to win, but a spot to get into the chase would really mean a lot to those drivers because, you know, the way how their season's been, how they got that win, that final two spots there, that is it. That is what's up for grabs. So with the way how these drivers are going to be, who knows what happens. And remember, all the chasers could be in the top 12, and whoever finishes 13th and 14th gets it done. The chasers could play spoiler as to whoever can make a benefit to who can make the chase or whatnot. It's where you find your friends. We'll see what happens, though. Again, as mentioned, 38 laps of action. We're going to get the command very, very shortly, and we'll see what happens. But without further ado, we're going to get the command in just about a few seconds, and we're going to send them off here at Talladega, and we'll take you to the green flag.
Drivers, start your engines!
And now that the command is out of the way, 42 drivers about ready to take it through at Talladega. And there they all go. So now that we got that out of the way, let's take you to the green flag for the LCQ at Dega. Pace car is making a dive down the pit road. And we shall see what'll happen. Nick Breeding in that RB Chevrolet Corvette. Bobo Jones in that Castrol GTX Chevrolet Camaro are going to lead them down. Both those drivers trying to make it in. We'll see what happens. Green flag is out and we're underway. Here at Talladega, let's roll. Who makes the chase? Now, some of those drivers that are trying to make it in as well, remember, this is their one and only attempt to try to make it in, or at least for some, one last attempt to make it in. You know, drivers that won't be back next season. You got Nick Breeding, Skylar Dixon, Brandon Crasta. Those are drivers that won't be coming back next season, just to name a few. Ryan Acosta will be a part of the Cup Series, and even then, he's going to make the chase, so he's good hands. And Kyle Keith also will be in the Cup Series next season, but don't forget, he can try to make it in as well. It's anybody who did not make the chase. This is their last chance here. Peter Onjak, he's made the chase, so he'll be joining his teammate Ryan Acosta, which is good. I believe, yeah, Christian Vargas in the 44. He won't be back next season. The car scraped the wall there. That was Eli Bright. And I believe those are all the drivers that won't be back next season that are actually in this race right now. And the Coca-Cola cars are actually all in the rear of the field. Vince Freeze, Eric Monaco, and Mitchell Collins. You see all three of them in the rear, which is not bad of a strategy there. Maybe predicting a wreck could happen early on, they can avoid it, and then they can just jump their way up to the front when it really matters the most. But right now, the top two, Bobo Jones, Charles Sanford. Those are both drivers that did not make it in right there. And you got a couple more non-chasers. You got Owen Miles in the 60, Ryan Griffin in the 29. Those two didn't make it in. And then in between Onjak and Ryan Griffin, the next non-chaser would be the 22 and Nathan Hudson. They were 4 wide earlier in the middle of the pack. Now they're going to settle back out to 3. Now, when they get 4 wide, primarily heading into turn 3, that's where it gets a little sketchy there, and that's where something you don't want to see any of the drivers do that in. And 4 wide general Talladega, it's not bad. You could do it. It's just as long as they don't lean, that's when it gets a little RE there. Andrew Miller, another driver who's going to be back next season there. Try to see what he can do. If he can get into the chase there. There's Sebastian Kuklon. That's a driver that's in the chase this season for Outback Xfinity, and he's also one of the drivers that will be a part of Cup next season. So, a lot of eyes are on that one car. Remember, Team Flick signed him a part of that deal in the Xfinity Series just to make sure to prove that, hey, this kid's got what it takes. He knows how to run. Oh, and someone had scraped the wall earlier, as you noticed, and now 4 wide. Now they settle back out to 3. Very smart right there by these drivers. And they know they got to be very patient on this race. Because they make one wrong move, man, that's opportunity. People trying to make the chase and they'll get wiped out in the process. Another driver that's made in the chase, Lane Sanders, a very superb season as the rookie. Car number 18, that K&N Mercedes. Definitely has had a very strong start to the year and finished out fairly well. Minus that poor run at Thornton, but he's made the chase. That's all that matters the most. And here comes a 4 wide attempt. Speaking of the 18 of Sanders, going to be with Nathan Hudson, the 22. And this is where Hudson, if I were him in that 22, I'd force my way up high and try to avoid that mess. And the worst part there, man, he's in the front of that pack too. And now, 4x4. You see the way how it is, man, on the spectator angle, man. They are 4x4 entering turn 3. Some of these are chasers, some of these are not chasers. Ooh, Matthew Eves kind of pushed up on the 1 a little bit there and settled it out. And I guarantee those guys in the middle who aren't making the chase right now, which would be Hudson and Miles, they're praying to God that, they keep it together. Get out of that mess ASAP. Oh, car got the wall a little bit. It was Roberto Crown Jr. in the 77, but didn't really scrub off all that speed. Oh, man, nearly 5 wide. And Kuklon, even though he's already in the chase, he just got in there in the nick of time. And I believe that was Zachary DeLello. He barely made it in there, too. And they're going to settle back out to 3 wide. Great job by all these drivers. Keeping it calm and collected and making sure not causing an accident. What a solid job by these Xfinity drivers here. Top 4 right now, Vince Almariego, Jackie Tang. There's Nico Ketchum, your regular season champion there. And Vince Freeze in the 90. Now Freeze, him and Monaco would like to join his teammate Mitchell Collins there. He's in the chase. But right now, we'll see what happens. There's Matthew Eves, the champion from last season, who had a good start to the year and then unfortunately has had the championship hangover effect. And right now, he's trying to do it the old-fashioned way, is get into the chase by the same way he did last season at Ronconov. Make it in by the LCQ. So we'll see if he goes 2 for 2. And he's actually the only driver to ever win the Chase LCQ and the championship in the same season. So that's a very valid effort there by that 36 team. It's a single file for about 8 spots, about 9 spots now on the track. And then everywhere else is about 2, 3, and then a little bit of 4 wide. And Skylar Dixon, a former champion in that 4 wide scenario right there, and some back out to 3. Now remember, these guys will be back here in a few weeks when we return to Talladega, this time being a points-paying race in the chase for the first time ever in NRSL history that this is a thing. Right now, Almariego and Tang, your top 2. Here comes Eves. And you see why he's trying to work his way up to the front right now. He's making a statement. He's telling these drivers, like, look, man, if you want to make the chase, you got to get through me, man. I'm one of the guys that made the championship by this format last season. If you want to win this championship, you got to showcase that yourself. Austin Yoakum, the 54. A little bit behind in the pack there. He's up to speed, but you can see he's a little bit of ways behind TJ Hanley in the 07. Vince Freeze in the 90 right now, P3. Andrew Miller in 4th. Kev Shearer now joining in the battle, who's going to be a part of Team Flick next season. So he's the new driver that's taken over Sebastian Kukelan's ride, and he's going to keep Sheets as his sponsor. So it's just, I believe they're actually going to be Chevrolets too. So mainly all it is just a number change, and that's it. And, oh, actually, I think he's Corvette. I'll have to double check on my end to see what the case is and all. But Kev, like as mentioned before, he will be a part of Team Flick next season. And we shall see what happens. And I want to make the correction that, yes, it is actually Chevrolet Corvette that he will be a part of there with the team. So still Chevy, but will be a part of the Corvette team there. So that team will join Full Throttle as the only pair of Corvette teams that are out there in the Outback Xfinity Series. Looks like 3 wide for the lead. That's Alex Bignacco in the 00 and Eric Monaco in the 91. Going 3 wide with Kev Shearer. Tell you what, these guys have been doing very, very good as we're a few laps away from getting to the halfway point of the race. And now Kyle Keefe's up here. Jeff James, Laura Chung, a couple of drivers that some of which did not have a good season at all. And 2 of those drivers, as mentioned before, James and Chung, did get a win last season. So, oh man. A couple cars keep bouncing off that wall off turn 1. You're hearing it. It's right when that wall kind of jets out a little bit. And Yoakum looks like he's going to lose the pack. Wow. Although that may not be bad for Yoakum with the way how they're racing, though, because some of these guys keep bouncing off the wall, and, you know, if they cause an accident, as long as he hits the brakes and flat out avoids it, he'll be fine. So, I wouldn't say it's too terrible loss, but in order for that to happen, he's got to hope for a caution to come out, and it's not towards the end of the race. Ryan Acosta, Owen Miles now go for the top position. Right now, top 2 chasers would be Laura Chung and Owen Miles. As wow, Miles did not get a run on the low line like he anticipated. And Chung led that lap and blocked the 60 cars. They're 4 wide for 2nd place. And now they are 4x4 in front of the pack. Yeah, this is where I know it's going to get really antsy. They're going to try 5 wide almost. And holy cow, thank God someone did not try that there. That would have been disastrous. Oh, Nick Green kind of pushed up into Eli Bright there. Man, they're 4x4, at least in 2 different sections of the track. Or 2 different sections of the group, I should say. Oh, Lane Sanders and Peter Onjak, a little bit of contact. Oh, Onjak's going to go around. Oh, save it Onjak. They're going to give him some room, and they're going to be A-OK. Wow, what a save. Forgot to mention, too, Lane Sanders. This is his home track at what I mentioned there in that 18 car. As Hudson scrapes the wall. Wow, that could have been disastrous right there, but great drive by that Gainesville BMW. I forgot to mention Onjak will not be returning next season as well. That was right before the halfway point, too, as you noticed, but we stay green. But for how long, though? And right there, that did separate some drivers within the pack. But they should be able to catch up. It's just the one who's been kind of a sitting ducksman, that 54 car of Yoakum. But I think is the way how these guys are really racing out here, I would not be surprised if caution comes out and he can actually avoid all the wrecking. As long as they're not sitting on the track or in a very easy spot to, you know, not run into and whatnot. In the meantime, 4 wide again in 2 different rows. 3 wide for 2nd. Chung and Dixon, your top 2 as far as the non-chasers trying to get in. As TJ Hanley is working with Roberto Crown Jr. Remember, Hanley also missed out on getting into the chase, so he's relying on his teammate in that NOS Ford to get up there, and I don't blame him. And that's what you do if you're like Roberto Crown Jr., if you're Mitchell Collins and drivers like that. You try to get some of your buddies who didn't make the chase to leapfrog them up there and get the opportunity to join you in the battle for the championship, because, you know, your teammates also do help out along the way. Again, they settle out of that 4 wide scenario, and they are 3x3 throughout the whole pack. About 4 wide for second. Yep, 4 wide now. Make that for 5th, 6th place now. Thankfully, it's just like the super front, and it's not like a, 4x4x4. Otherwise, that would have not been good. Kukulainen and Bobo Jones are rubbing doors a little bit there in that 1 and 27. Man, I'll tell you what, they've been teasing these 4 wide battles, and I don't know how they're keeping together, but they are. Just lately, I think you just noticed turn 4 seems to be the spot where it's like when you go 4 wide and you really stick on that inside line, you're already a sitting duck there. At the line this time, we lap 16 of 38. So this time by now, we'll be past the halfway point, and we have been clean and green ever since. Austin Yoakum and Patrick Smith, a couple of drivers from Meyer Racing Toyota, gonna have to hope for a caution. I know Smithy's in the pack, which is fine, but the one who's really gonna need it is Austin Yoakum in the 54. Right now, DeLello and Christian Vargas are the 2 that's in right now. And then you got chasers in 3rd and 4th, and Roberto Crown Jr. and Peter Onjak, respectively. Then you got James and Bobby Frazier that are also here, that are non-chasers. I'm telling you, as I say this, I don't know how they're still clean and green, but they have done a very impressive job of been about 41 of these 42 drivers, and the way how they've been, I've been very amazed. But I don't know how long they can keep this up, though, because, again, as I say, they've been teasing these 4 wide battles, but they just, I don't know how long they can keep this up. You see that middle line, you can see how badly that middle line loses so much ground on the back straight. And, it's just a matter of time, man. Oh, Vince Albriego. Oh, well goes Logan Williams in the 9. He's a chaser, which is going to be okay for him, but crashes, and I think that will not bring out a yellow. Albriego needs to get back on the track. Yeah, no caution. That was on pit road, or, well, I should say below the yellow line, not pit road, though. And, oh my Christ, are they going to try 5 wide? Are they actually going to try it? Oh, please don't do that. Please do not try 5 wide. Oh, my goodness. Somehow they settle it out. And, oh, man. Nicholas Garrett, Sebastian Kukla, rubbing doors heading into 3. Oh, man, these guys just keep teasing, man. And, again, I don't know how they're hanging on for dear life like this, but they are. So with Logan Williams out of the picture and him down pit road, is he out of the race, or is he still continuing? He's still continuing, but these leaders are now going to have to approach the 9 car, and this could probably cause some issues there. If it's Albriego's behind, and he's hoping for that yellow flag to come out. And the same could be said for Austin Yoakum. Again, as I say, I know Logan Williams, it doesn't really matter for him because he's already in the chase, but I don't think he wants to get reeled in by this lead pack, though. Right now, DeLello and Pollard, the 2 to make it in. Yeah, you can see they're reeling in that 9 car really, really good. You see that damage that was on the 9 car was just the rear and nowhere else. So we're going to take a very quick break just so we get our frames back together. Don't go away, you're not going to miss much here in the Outback Xfinity Series LCQ Chase. Welcome back as these drivers have caught Logan Williams in the 9, and Derek Hamill is getting the big worst end effect of it. And he's the driver that totally got screwed out of Thornton, out of everyone who didn't make it in. Hamill's like the driver that needs to get around the 9 car the quickest here. And oh man, he is just getting absolutely butchered. And they're all so bunched together behind the 9 car. Oh, I don't like this, how this is going, man. These guys are bunched up 4 wide, and this is where You got to be extremely careful here. Right here. Because this is where how the accidents can come and go. And it looks like, I'm pretty sure they're going to settle it out, but they kind of got quickly jambled up. It looks like the 9 car is up to speed. Minus the damage. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's what is it. Wow, he just blocked Kyle Keith. He went all the way down to block the 51. And they're really getting crazy off turn 2. 4 wide in the rear of the pack. I guarantee you, 2 drivers, let alone a few, are hoping and praying for the caution to come out, at least within a point to have a restart. And they're the drivers in that very, very far end of the pack. Drivers in the main pack, they don't want to see yellow flag. They want to keep it clean and green throughout the whole way and try to be up in the front when it matters the most. Man, there's like 3 rows in the main group here that are going 4 wide. Costa scraping the wall in that 56. Oh boy, these guys are getting very, very aggressive here at the time when it really doesn't need to be aggressive, but you can see the laps are ticking down. At the line this time by, it'll be 15 laps to go. Oh! There goes Jeff James and Joseph Srigley! No caution again! Oh my word! And Vince Almariego and Austin Yoakum, they probably got to be saying, what do we got to do to get a caution? Oh, and Matthew Eaves in the 36 got involved! There goes his chance of trying to defend his crown. Oh man, Jackie Tang, Owen Miles, they got involved. Bobby Frazier's in the rear. Brandon Crasta, Joseph Srigley, Patrick Smith, Nicholas Guerra. Skylar Dixon was down pit road for whatever reason. And now the pack is trimmed down for sure. Looks like Jackie Tang and Skylar Dixon, they have engine damage, so they are going to be off the pace. Tough break for those guys right there. Unbelievable. DeLello leading and Pollard still 1-2 as they've gotten around Eaves, who's now 1 lap down, as Eric Monaco has scraped the wall in the 91 there. But man, I'll tell you what, this pack definitely trimmed down to say the least, but what a tough blow for some of these guys that really just did not need that to happen. Yeah, and Austin Yoakum and Vince Almariego, I think that was your chance for the caution, and unfortunately that is not the case anymore. Which is a bummer to say the least. Continuing on though, with less than 15 laps to go. Now, I don't think there will be a caution that will come out now because they definitely have toned it down. They're keeping it to 2-3 wide. But stranger things have happened before, so I can't really say a whole lot to say the least. They are catching up to Austin Yoakum. Wow, both the former champions, Dixon and Eaves. Gotta feel bad for those guys, man. Definitely not what they needed, to say the least. And they will not be able to go for championship number 2. Looking through, though, in this pack. Now Charles Sanford has joined in into second place with help of Andrew Miller in the 89. That's weird how Coca-Cola and Pepsi are actually kind of working together to get up to the front. But if you got to make the chase, you got to do something. And now here comes Vargas in the 44. He's had a really good car today, trying to make it count when it matters the most. Nathan Hudson, the same for him as well. And now Hudson moves Vargas out of the way. As at the line this time will be 10 laps to go. Yeah, Almerego is getting reeled in by Owen Miles, which actually Almerego passed him earlier. I mean, it'll help him out a little bit, but not a whole lot. Also, Srigley, Smith, and Guerra. Crasta and Frazier. All hope for the best. 30 cars in this main pack. And 2 of these cars have an opportunity to make the chase. Here comes Monaco looking for third off Nathan Hudson. Breeding, the pole sitter, trying to follow Monaco. And remember, Sanford and Monaco, they're not teammates, but they do share some sponsorship with Coca-Cola. Both could work together, though, to try to get in. They are catching up to Austin Yoakum, which, again, as I say, you gotta feel bad for him. Because if you notice, this is Monaco's engine damage, and I don't know how him and Laura Chung are up here, but okay. The 54 you see here does not have any issue. He just flat out lost the pack. And those chances of a yellow flag, well, they are disappearing just like that. If you're these lead guys, I think it's go time. You know a chase spot's on the line and anything is possible. Now Vince Freeze, as Monaco's lost their opportunity to get up there, as Nick Breen has now jumped into third. Vince Freeze now into fifth. Kev Shearer in fourth. And Breeding looking for second on Charles Sanford, but couldn't seem to do it. Freeze gonna follow Breeding. Now remember that 54 is up to speed. So it's not really gonna affect them a whole lot, but it will kind of bunch up everyone together again. And just like that. Oh, wow. I thought Yoakum was going to block Zachary DeLello, but that is not the case. And the top 3 are going to get around the 54 via the high line. Vince Freeze trying to follow as well. Going to take a second for that 54 to get up to speed there with the draft. And Freeze, a very wise move in that 90 car. Now Yoakum going to move out of the way of Alex Taker and others. And Ryan Acosta getting held up, but not going to matter for him. He's in the chase, so not a major loss. Now that top 4 being single file, that's not really a good thing, because this main pack could really reel them in. All those guys in the rear does not look good. But the top 4 all by their lonesome here. Alex Taker's cleared for 5th. We'll see what happens, though. There's a spin in the back. It was Nico Ketchum, the 23. Will that bring out the yellow? No yellow again. Oh, my word. What is happening? Apologies with the frame rate issue. And it looks like now they've brought out a caution. Caution will wave finally. As we're on lap 33 of 38. We're only going to have a few laps to go to determine those final spots. And it's right now Zachary DeLello and Charles Sanford. I apologize for my frame rate having some issues too, but oh man. So now comes the question as to everyone going to be A-OK settling out. It looks like that is the case, with the exception of Patrick Smith in the 15. So these guys will now have to deal with whoever got around the lap cars earlier on. But I know there's going to be primarily a few instances to look at. I know Logan Williams, we saw what happened, but I'm curious about that wreck at turn 3 with, like, say, Joseph Sprigley and others, as Nico Ketchum has got the back end repaired and he's out and away. It doesn't really matter to him again because he's the points leader, so if the NRSL first did not want to call out the caution, then they said, second thought, let's call the caution. And some of these guys are coming down pit road. Oh, and the guys who didn't were the top 4. Really makes you wonder if these guys who came down pit road, they may take advantage of this opportunity to make the chase. This is a big gamble, to say the least, and if it pays off, and one of these, both and 2 of these guys in this group make it in, I don't know what really to say. But we know the drivers that won't make it in, as Jackie Tang and Skylar Dixon are out of the race with gearbox and piston issues. The driver that's leading them out of the pit road there is Alex Taker in the 50 and Nathan Hudson in the 22. So eyes will be on them. Kyle Keith, Kev Shearer, Joshua Sicoli, Bobo Jones, Laura Chung, Andrew Miller, Owen Miles. Caution's out. Let's take a look at those 2 incidents there. The one on turn 3 and then Nico Ketchum. Well, this incident was on lap 23, and we're actually going to go to the helicopter angle here. And again, as you see, another 4 wide. And, you know, these guys were teasing 4 wide like crazy. And, you know, I don't know how they kept this together, but still, I'm amazed this did not bring out a caution. Now, let's see here. Yeah, there was a squeeze right there, and that was Owen Miles, Jackie Tang, and Joseph Srigley. So 2 teammates from Evans Gardner Motorsports and Joseph Srigley. Right in front of Matthew Eves. Does the car go around here? I don't think anyone did. No. There's just a lot of squeezing there. That's all you could see. Like, a lot of hard squeeze into the outside wall. And the one who took the worst end of it was Matthew Eves in the 36, the champion from last season. So that's unfortunate to say the least there, but man, I still can't believe that did not bring out a caution. All right, and here's what happened to Nico Ketchum that at first did not want to bring out a caution and then brought out a caution. Another 4 wide that involved Pollard, TJ Hanley, and right behind him was Laura Chung, and right there, a couple cars, and oh, I think that's going to explain what happened to Nico Ketchum right here. Oh, yeah, I hit the inside wall and the jet out area. Oh, wow. Ah, that's a hard lick right there. And yeah, I don't know why they did not bring out the caution. I know it was kind of in the rear of the pack, and oh, man, that's a lick. They thought the debris was enough there to cause the yellow flag, but well, now comes the question. How many laps to go? We get back to green flag racing, and who's going to make the chase? We're going to find out very shortly. Well, buckle up tight, folks. A green-white checker's about to happen. Cars are coming off pit road right now. Alex Benyako, TJ Hanley, Mitchell Collins, Peter Onjak. 2 of them are chasers, which would be Onjak and Collins. And Hanley and Benyako went back down. So those drivers are good to go in gas. Now, the drivers that stayed out, Zachary DeLello, Charles Sanford, Vince Freese, Nick Breen, Christian Vargas, Daniel Bouchard, Brian Acosta, Eric Monaco, Logan Williams, and Derek Helm will complete the top 10. And then the rest of the drivers that stayed out include Eli Bright, Ryan Griffin, Daniel Olson, Roberto Crown Jr., Steve Pollard, Bobby Frazier, Nicholas Guerra, Brandon Crasta, Patrick Smith, Joseph Srigley, and that is it. Alex Tanker from 21st on back have all went down pit road just in case if the drivers up ahead run out of fuel. Anything's possible, but if so, we shall see. Owen Miles retired the race with a clutch issue, so not looking good for Evans Gardner. Here we go. Pace car is already down. Green, white, checkered. Yellow ends the race. Green flag. We are back underway at Talladega. Who's going to make the chase with 2 laps to go? Oh, Vince Freese definitely messed up there going on the high line. Now Nick Breen and Christian Vargas going underneath the 90 car. So the main question that's going to happen, are these drivers going to head down pit road with 2 laps to go? Or do the drivers come down pit road and make one of the biggest rookie mistakes that they ever done. We shall see. But a big gap behind Eli Bright in the 88 car, where Ryan Griffin's at in the 29. Moment of truth here as they were coming down pit road. Oh, Acosta are moving up on the track. I think they're coming down pit road. Derek Campbell is in the 47. Vince Freeze, Eli Bright. Some of these guys are out of gas. But these guys are risking it. Holy cow, a lot of guys are down. White flag at the line. Final lap for Zachary DeLello and Nick Breeding. They're the top two right now. Daniel Bouchard in third, getting around Charles Sanford. Literally the top six are the ones that's left, with the exception of Ryan Acosta. It comes down to the top five. But Breeding and Zachary DeLello look like the two that are going to make it in unless Bouchard makes a move for that second position. But it ain't over yet, though. They got turn 4, and then they got that front straightaway. Sanford Acosta are moving up the course. Are they coming down pit road? Vargas is coming down. Bouchard. He's not going to be able to make a move, and he's out of time. Checker flag. Zachary DeLello. Nick Breeding. They're going to come see the checker flag, and they're going to win at Talladega. And those are your two to make the chase. Drivers running out of gas at the end. I guarantee if it went another lap, the rest of the lead pack would have went down, and I would have not been surprised. Oh, man. I really don't know how to feel about that one, but a very late caution. And, you know, drivers like Kev Shearer and company, they were hoping the rest of the field came down, but it came down to the top five that stayed out. And Nick Breeding and Zachary DeLello are the ones that made it in. You got to feel for S3 Motorsports. Two of their drivers had a chance to make it in, but unfortunately just ran out of time. Oh, you got to feel there. DeLello and Breeding make it in. Results really don't matter, but here they are anyway. So there's your 14. Joe Strickland ran out of gas there. Interesting. Thank you guys for watching. If you like, be sure to like, subscribe. You're brand new to the channel. Hit that bell notification for any future uploads. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Cup race at Talladega. Until then, this is DeYoung signing off. We'll see you guys for Dega in the Cup Series LCQ. Until then.